What are the big events happening in crypto this week that could affect price? I got you covered. What about a little bit of Cardano, ADA, XRP Ripple partnership? Hoskinson wants a piece. What's Deaton's thoughts on it? We'll talk XRP price action along with Happy Sunday. Oh, you thought I was going to cut it right there, didn't you?
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Well, hello, and happy Sunday to you all. A new week in new crypto news, and what's going on this week? Well, I've got the economic calendar for you, and it's linked in the description below. Now, before we get into that, price action and much more, you know the deal. Your comments come first. Why? Because you, the viewer, matter most. D.R. Henry Sr. starts us off with a little cup of coffee and says, "Good morning, Klaus. I need to make myself a cup of coffee. I'm starting it off with Agua Pura. Yeah, in the Sox tumbler. Go Sox. My wife was at the game last night. Happy birthday, sweetie, even though I know you don't watch my stuff." El Gringo Machapin says, "How about saying it like they would in the day in Guate? Choo choo putos." Nice. Love it. Way to go, gringo. Love it, action. Veg out dropping support on the channel with a little bit of looks like skiing or snowboarding action. I'm saying skiing. Thanks for the laughs. Treat yourself to some choo-choo cookies and milk. That's right, because Santa Claus is coming to town. Fourth quarter is my quarter, baby. Crypto Newbie's got a question and dropping support. It's a good one. Thanks for all the hard work, Klaus. Question. JP basically has the power to control rates. When his term ends and Trump appoints a new chair, would we see XUP blow up from the rate cuts? We won't see XRP blow up from the rate cuts because we'll know it's coming, right? See, the market prices stuff ahead of time. That's why when we saw the market pump green, it's not because we were pumping green because of the rate cuts. No, we were pumping green because Powell was signaling that rate cuts were coming. The market prices stuff ahead of time. So if Trump were to appoint someone that was more dovish, right, the market will price that in right away. The market's not going to wait for the day of the cut. Now, if we get a cut out of nowhere, let's say the market is expecting pause, right? 90% chance of pause, and then all of a sudden we get a cut, that is boom action that could send us green. It's all about expectations versus reality. You ready to do it? Happy Sunday, bitches. Bitcoin sitting at 114,664. ETH 4,776. Here's the deal. ETH has been the big benefactor of all of this action. XRP $3. We'll talk price action at the end. All right, so what's going on this week? Well, I got you covered. Dallas Fed President Lori Logan speaks on Monday. New York Fed President John Williams speaks on Monday as well. I'm not too worried about either of those two. They don't command as much oomph as, say, Waller does and as Bowman does. So don't worry about that. Consumer confidence comes out on Tuesday. Definitely pay attention to that one. Wednesday, not much going on. Jobless claims on Thursday, yes. Thursday evening, Christopher Waller speaks. The market will definitely react to that. PCE Friday, yes, pay attention to that. What else do we got for you? Consumer sentiment on Friday. Pay attention to that. And then Monday the 1st, traditional markets are closed, which means what? The crypto market's fending for itself. Then after that, it's what, everyone? Regaroni times, baby. That's right. Regs discussion starts the month of September. So we got a couple Fed presidents talking this week, a couple moderately important economic reports, and then September's the big month. Here's the deal, though. They knew September was a big month, and they knew this already in June. Look at the top of the screen right here. Look at the date. June 27th, 2025. This is what was said by Chairman Scott. I've been very clear that I believe the president's mandate of moving the Genius Act immediately to his desk is in the best interest of the American people, and making sure there's a timeline for market structure to be completed by September 30th. Essentially, Chairman Tim Scott said at the end of June, yes, the end of June, that they're going to have the regs done by September 30th. So even in Congress, they've known that September was going to be the juicy regaroni month. And if we get rate cuts along with regs, yo, boys and girls, muchachos and muchachas, we're going to have one hell of a juicy frickin' September. Now, Eleanor's helping us out. I've got her information and all the information for the videos you see down below linked there. Check it out. I'm being a good noodle. I'm citing my sources like you would in school. Now all I got to do is talk about the Dewey Decimal System and the card catalogs at the library. Who remembers those? Eleanor says new. CFTC acting chair. Do you know why we have an acting chair? Because guess what? We still haven't confirmed the CFTC head. We're in August. Trump has been president now for 7 months, and we still don't have a CFTC head. So, acting chair Caroline Pham today announced the agency's next crypto sprint to implement recommendations from the White House crypto report. Pham says push alongside SEC's Project Crypto answers Trump call for U.S. leadership for spot retail trading. Stakeholder engagement starts today. Public comments due October 20th. Essentially, the CFTC wants now to know what the public thinks about it. Look, what the public wants is for you fuckers to get the regs done in the month of September. Get a couple rate cuts done this year. Let's get things going and get us a new CFTC head. It's been 7 frickin' months. Cardano's Hoskinson just had a great XRP conversation with Ripple CEO. Look, Charles wants to stay relevant. About a month ago, Charles said, hey, we're going to sell $100 million worth of ADA to buy ETH or to buy BTC and stable coins. Then a few weeks later, he's like, no, I'm kidding. Do you know why he said that? Because a whole bunch of players in the ADA Cardano community were like, bro, why would you say that? You're basically saying ADA isn't worth it and that BTC and stables are worth it. And he's like, oh, I was just kidding with y'all. This dude, I would not trust. Remember, Charles also said publicly that he's working with DC lawmakers. That was proven to be false because he was never invited to DC. And remember, Charles was also the person that said XRP players out there are conspiracy theorists because we said, hey, how come ETH gets the golden pass? Well, ETH still has the golden pass. There's no regs for ETH, and yet ETH has an ETF. XRP and HBAR, Sol, and all of them have been denied ETFs. So here's Cardano's, yes, Hoskinson out there trying to ride the coattails of XRP, trying to suck on the XRP titty. Charles, we don't trust you. This is what he said. In fact, I had a conversation with Brad about XRP and it'd be a lot of fun. Moreover, Hoskinson later teased, that's right, because it's all you can do, because it's all bullshit, deeper integration of the token into the Cardano ecosystem. Deaton wants to capitalize on it, and he said it'd be an honor and a pleasure to be present, working together with Charles and other leaders in the crypto ecosystem. I don't trust Charles worth a shit. The fact is he did say there would be $100 million ADA investment. He would take $100 million worth of ADA and use it to buy stables and BTC. Well, if ADA is going to be worth so much, why would you sell it then to buy BTC and stables? He walked that comment back because he got flack. There's also, I believe, a $400 million Genesis key discrepancy where they want him right now to do what? To do an audit because they think he schmoozed a little bit of money in the beginning with the Genesis key, 400 million worth. I don't trust this fucker. All he's doing is riding on the popularity of XRP. Why do I believe that? Because zoom out to the 1 year, we're going to compare XRP with ADA, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Why is Charles trying to ride the coattails of XRP? Because XRP is in blue, ADA is in the salmon color. XRP for the year up 381%, ADA up only 127%. So ADA is trying to get some of that juicy XRP action. Look, it's been a laggard. It moves the same, it's got the same patterns, but not the same intensity. So all Charles is trying to do is to ride the coattails, trying to catch just a portion of what XRP has. And that's what's bullshit about this entire thing. So Deaton can say whatever he wants about, oh, it'd be an honor. Shut the fuck up. I don't trust Charles worth the shit. He said dumb shit. He called XRP people conspiracy theorists. He walked that statement back. He said he's worked for the government time and time again. That's proven to be true or false time and time again. He said a whole bunch of shit that's proven to be false. In fact, how many times has he said he's been in D.C. with lawmakers and we've never seen him in D.C.? We've seen Brad in D.C. Yeah, we've seen Danelle in D.C., but we haven't seen this douchebag in D.C. Overall, the crypto market volume, still decent. 133 billion, down 47%. Altcoin season strong at 46 out of 100. We had some big time highs here. Over 4 trillion right now for crypto market cap. We're at 3.97 trillion. Inflows, only for ETH here as of late. Outflows for BTC. So the market is still preferring ETH over BTC. XRP's volume, still decent, 3.5 billion, right at the targets I was telling you about. So even with the insano pump from Jackson Hole on Friday, thank you, Jerome Powell, we're holding strong right above that $3 mark. Look at this. We pump up from Jackson Hole, and look, we're hugging right at that $3 mark. So right now, the market is comfortable with $3 XRP. Charles wants a piece of the $3 XRP, and he hopes it rubs off on ADA. Why? Because ADA is under $1. ADA is at 90 cents right now. ADA's not pumping anywhere near XRP. Eleanor says the CFTC wants our public comments on how to make crypto better. Get a fucking CFTC head. It's only been 7 months. We got some economic reports happening this week. We also got Congress who knew all the way back in June that September would be the month for regs. Maybe Jerome Powell will give us the cut at that time. XRP's looking healthy price-wise. Thank you, Jerome Powell, for being dovish. Now give us the cut that we deserve in the month of September. All we got to do is tread water for 1 more week and we get through the trap month, which is August. So choo-choo what? Whoa. We're not at the outro just yet. And no, I don't trust Charles at all because most of the shit coming out of his mouth is absolute garbage and lies. For real. How many times have we heard him talk about, I'm in deep with DC players, I'm working with them, and then it never happens. And with him, with the 400 million Genesis key thing, yeah, we still haven't seen the audit. And all he's doing right now is trying to ride the coattails. Come on, man. How would you feel if Brad was like, yo, let's sell 100 million worth of XRP to buy BTC and stables? He would get roasted by the XRP community. Charles did that, though. And then he had to backpedal it because the ADA community was like, dude, you're an idiot. Why did you say that? Yeah, that's what's going on. But what's better than that, though, is that so far August has had some traps. Yes, it has. But it's also had some juicy goodiness. It's brought us back to key levels. ETH, surprisingly, looking pretty good. Now, how long will that last? I don't know. The reality is we've seen the market favor BTC. They rotated now into ETH, and alts are looking good, so maybe they're going to rotate from ETH into the alts once we get the market structure bill going in September. That would be great for us because the majority of us are altcoin fans. The volume has been healthy, and fourth quarter is shaping up to be absolutely freaking juicy. We might have a couple rate cuts happening. Maybe one in September, maybe another one in the fourth quarter. And then we've got the ETFs coming as well. Freaking awesome, isn't it? So buckle up, muchachos and muchachas, because this is going to be a wild ride. A good wild ride. Kind of like our wives promised us. Got drunk on tequila and actually delivered to us. And for the 7% of you ladies out there, this is like the husbands and boyfriends and side actions promising us a half hour of thunder and actually delivering. Not giving us 5 minutes of pleasure for them and ignoring you. No. This is promising and delivering. Yes, juicy news this Sunday. I'm going to go play some Tarkov. Why? Because the house is empty. Everyone's gone. It's just me and the dog. So I can do whatever the fuck I want. So today is a Tarkov day. Maybe I'll do a little bit of running and training if my sinuses feel alright. I don't know. I've got tons of medications that I could take to try to make them feel good. We'll see if it works. Either way, choo-choo what? Choo choo bitches. And yes, Garmin is correct. It's been 7 months since Trump has been in office, and guess what? We still don't have a head of a CFTC. Choo choo what? Choo choo procrastination.